Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Hustle Basketball Talk. I'm joined today by forward center Osasu Osaghae. Osasu, thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you, man. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So to start off, I want to talk about your experience, growing up in Miami, what the basketball scene was like there, and then at what age you started to play competitively and really fall in love with the game of basketball.
Oh yeah. So growing up in Miami, I feel like now that I've been out and I've been around
Yeah.
to a couple places, I feel like the Miami scene isn't really that big when it comes to basketball. Like I don't have like many friends that I grew up with that I continuously played with throughout college or anything like that. But I think there's a lot of talent in Miami for sure. I've seen it now that I'm older and stuff like that, and I'm more privy to that. And yeah, what was your second question?
And then what age did you start to play competitively and really like take it seriously, think you had a future in it?
Okay, so honestly, I would say probably like 17, 16.
Okay.
I started playing basketball kind of late when I was like 15, 14,
Yeah.
15. But even at that point, I wasn't really taking it serious. It was kind of just something to kill time and
Yeah.
just use my height, because everybody was telling me I should try it. I was giving it a try, but I would say maybe like my junior year of high school, that's when I started like looking at it like, okay, let me try and take it a little bit more serious and work hard and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. And did you play sports prior, like any other sports before basketball?
Yeah, I had like a short, unsuccessful career in soccer. I
Okay.
played that for about like 4 years. And honestly, like that's probably like I watch more soccer than basketball. Even like soccer is kind of my first sport, but yeah, that was my thing before.
Okay, got you. And then
Yeah.
towards the end of high school, as you started to, play competitive basketball and organized basketball, was there colleges reaching out to you? Were you getting recruited for your height? And then ultimately, what was your decision? You went to be a walk-on at Florida International in Miami. So what was your
Mhm.
decision process and, going there and trying to give it a try at the Division 1 level?
Honestly, no. Like just to be completely honest, like there was no colleges looking at me, no junior colleges, nothing. I remember playing in a tournament. It was like in Tallahassee, my senior year of high school. And I mean, I was on the bench most of the game, but we ended up losing the game, and it was basically like a winner go home type of situation. We ended up losing that game, and like it was very surreal for me. And I realized like, okay, our season's over with. And at that point, I waited like the whole summer. I worked out, I trained, but still no interest, no nothing, no cause. So I came into it that following year going into college. I came into it like, okay, I'm going to focus on school.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and get an education. FIU was like literally 30 minutes from where I live, so I got accepted there initially from for just off of education,
Yeah.
and that was my plan to just go there. I didn't really think too much on the basketball situation. I went in not even knowing if they were D1 or anything like that.
Yeah.
But when I came in, I want to say like the first, second day, I immediately went to the offices. I talked with the coaches, asked to be around, asked to be invited to pick up and all that type of stuff. And that entire, like, I would say month of August, I was pretty much just very acclimated with the team at every pickup session, at every workout that I could be. And then around like early September, I'll say that's when they told me like, oh, okay, we're gonna keep you. And that's when my whole like walk on process completely started. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then once you were in and you were part of the team and on campus and stuff, what was, I guess the transition like from going from that and then going to be a scholarship player your junior year? So what was your first 2 seasons like? And then that transition to getting that scholarship and then really making an impact as one of the key players on the team?
Yeah, I like how you said the two. I feel like I kind of in my head I look at it from like two standpoints, like first two, second two.
Yeah.
First 2 years, obviously I wasn't on scholarship, but I kind of just used that time personally. I'm training with the guys who are on scholarship, who are playing, who are getting minutes, and I just kind of wanted to I gauged myself like every day, every practice, every workout. I gauged myself like how close am I to this guy or how close am I to that guy, and I felt like I was just working on my game. The as much as I could. And I kind of grew confidence with that, knowing that like, okay, I'm not playing, but I know what I'm doing in practice. I know I'm getting this much better and this much closer to this person. So I gained a lot of confidence with that. And transitioning to my latter 2 years, I think my junior year was probably key for me because I came in it kind of blinded, not really knowing what to expect, what was going to happen. I mean, the year before, I think I
Because there was a
maybe
coaching change, right?
The coaching changed as well. So
Yeah.
I was under a lot of, I was confused personally because I just didn't know if the coaches were going to be there, Coach Ballard and them. I came in, I was around, talked to them during the summer and stuff, but they had a lot of going on basically at the time, so they couldn't really give me any guarantees. It was around towards the end of the summer though that I had a serious conversation with him, and he told me that I would be getting a scholarship.
Yeah.
And that junior year was kind of like a clean slate. I didn't really know what to expect for myself. But I think that was kind of like the breakout year for me and gave me the confidence to go to my senior year.
That's awesome, man. And like you said, it was a breakout year. You were a key player on the team, averaged over 3 blocks a game as a junior. And then your senior year, you led the nation in blocks per game in Division I basketball at nearly 4 a game. So what was that experience like now? Like you're one of the key guys. You're defensive player of the year in CUSA. Like you're that guy on your team. And then did you ever lose, I guess, sight of where you were before? Did that you use where you were before as motivation?
Honestly, I probably didn't really lose. I didn't think about it. Honestly, I was probably very numb to it. My coach, who's still there, Coach Ballard. I mean, he had probably more confidence in me than I had in myself. I remember coming in my first year, even when I was a junior. Obviously the year before, my stats were nothing crazy. I mean, they were good for maybe minutes per game, but they were nothing to have a speech about.
Yeah.
So anyways, he came in first day and was telling me, hey, I think you can be defensive player of the year. And there's a guy that, I mean, he's seen me work out for about 2 months maximum. Yeah. And he was telling me how I should be the number 1 shot blocker and all these things that I couldn't believe for myself. And I think that kind of gave me a lot of confidence, knowing that there was somebody who believed in me so much. Yeah. And I kind of just took that. But in the moment, I really probably wasn't even thinking about it like, oh, I was walking on or nothing like that. I feel like I was really just living in the moment, honestly.
That's awesome, man. That's the best thing to do, especially in, any career, right? Just in life, being present and focusing on the moment, because that's how you find success. Then after your senior year, you decide to pursue a pro career. What was that process like? Like when you realized you actually had a chance to go pro, like what were your emotions? And then also, what was that experience like going to a whole nother country?
Yeah, honestly, so the year I came out, it was a whole bunch of craziness, honestly, because I signed with an agency. I would say probably maybe relatively late compared to some people, because I didn't know what to expect. I was hearing a whole bunch of different things, and I came out during the coronavirus year and everything like that. So I think I didn't actually sign to go overseas till like literally like mid-December. Yeah. And in the meantime, I was working out for literally like what felt like 2 seasons. I was working out from March till December. Yeah. And I was talking to a few teams. I got invited to like the G League combine workout thing, but it was virtual. I did that. Did a couple of Zoom calls and stuff like that. And honestly, my focus was trying to get into the G and stuff like that. But things went a different way and decisions were made and stuff like that. But so I kind of had to just refocus, because my whole mentality was like, okay, I'm going to try and dominate and kill and show what I'm made of, coming out of like a mid-major program, where maybe I feel like we sometimes don't get as much respect as like higher major players in schools and stuff. Yeah. So that was my whole mentality. So having to switch over and think like, okay, I'm going to go to a whole new country, whole new language, whole new culture, shock, basketball, everything. It was kind of crazy, scary. I remember crying on the phone one day when I landed and stuff. Like, it was just so much emotions and stuff like that. But I feel like honestly it kind of grew me up faster, kind of got me ready for the real world, and kind of like woke me up. And the experience itself was like, it was incredible. It was good and bad moments, but I feel like I needed everything.
Yeah, definitely. And then you're in your second season now, pro, correct?
Yeah.
And you're in Germany right now. So as far as the language barriers and the foods and just like the outside stuff, like aside from basketball, like what's that been like for you?
So funny enough, like I like Germany, honestly. I feel like Germany is a little bit more similar to Miami than maybe Finland is.
Okay.
Weather-wise, I mean, they're both freezing cold, so
yeah,
you just gotta get with the program. But I'm in a city that's very close to a university, so it kind of feels like I'm still at FIU in a sense.
Yeah.
It's a big city. It's a lot of people my age and stuff like that. Outside of basketball is good. Like, it's very welcoming. Literally, I would say everybody in this country speaks English. Awesome. So it's not too much of a barrier or anything like that, but I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah.
That's great, man. And then the level of competition overseas is obviously a lot different than in America, whether it's pro or college. So
Yeah.
what's that been like? And then also, what do you feel is your greatest strength at the professional level in the game of basketball?
I feel like it's been an adjustment. I feel like it's a little different than what I expected. It's definitely more physical. Definitely, it's just different. Honestly, it's hard to really compare it. But and I feel like personally, I feel like my greatest strength. I mean, everyone talks about my defensive stuff, so I'd piggyback off that. Just I feel like my defensive, not necessarily blocking shots, more so my defensive IQ, just
Yeah,
knowing like where to be, when to be there, and like I just feel like I have good instincts and good like a know-how for defensive instincts and stuff like
that's great, man. And that know-how definitely leads to, blocking shots and timing and stuff. So
that.
imperative for that. And then your favorite memory thus far, from
For
playing
sure.
since you were 16 or 17, like to now, what's been your favorite memory?
Um, like basketball wise
Yeah,
or what?
basketball wise, yeah.
Um, my favorite memory would have to be signing that scholarship personally.
Yeah,
For my going into my junior year. Yeah, just because it was so much emotions and just what it signified, like all the hard work paying off.
for sure. And how was your family's reaction to that?
Nah, they were excited. My mom was like, she's the type of person who she's like a big manifester. So she was kind of like going into that summer. She knew the situation. She knew I wanted a scholarship. And she was just like, even though I was so stressed out, she was telling me like, yo, everything's gonna be work itself out.
That's
So she was kind of like, she acted like she knew it was gonna happen in a sense. Yeah.
that's awesome, man. And then outside of basketball, what are your interests? Who are you when you're not, practicing and playing in games?
When I'm not, I'm on YouTube a lot. I'm huge on Netflix. I'm always watching a show or a movie.
Okay.
Um, I watch a lot of sports. I watch a lot of soccer.
Yeah,
I do watch basketball. I watch probably more college basketball than I do NBA basketball.
for sure.
But yeah, I'm not too much of a gamer, but I think my thing is I'm a TV person. Yeah, that's me.
What's your top show right now?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Euphoria. I gotta go with Euphoria.
Dude, hey, Euphoria is
Hey,
amazing, man.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is nuts. Yeah, it's not for everyone either. Like
It's not. And when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, this is not my type of show. But
yeah,
once you get into it, it's like it's addicting.
man. After the third episode, I was hooked.
It's definitely Euphoria. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, good choice right there, man. Good
Yeah.
choice. And then what's your why, man? Like what gets you motivated every single day to be a better person and succeed, not only on the court, but off the court? You sound like education's important to you as well. So
Yeah.
what's your why?
I would say my why would probably be honestly, just honestly, it's kind of two things. It's one is I like to prove people wrong because I feel like earlier in my career it was kind of like a lot of people just casting me out and said
Yeah.
like I have no chance and I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that. So that's one thing. And then secondly, just kind of I just want to provide a better life and just help my family and make them proud, honestly.
Yeah.
So I feel like everything I do, I just want to make sure that it's helping put my family in a better position.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's a great reason to keep going. Prove yourself right, like right, and everyone else wrong, but also
For
that
sure.
family. Being a
Yeah,
family-oriented person and stuff. And then
definitely.
after the ball stops bouncing one day, what do you see yourself doing outside of basketball, long term?
I see. Yeah, long term, I want to open up my own business.
Yeah,
I have like a master's degree in business management,
that's
so
awesome, man.
yeah, I want to do something business oriented. I was actually just talking to my friend about like what type of business ideas and stuff we would get into, but
Yeah,
I haven't found out just yet what I'm gonna do. But hopefully, I have a long career where I get time and to think
100%.
about those things. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have a long basketball career ahead of you, and then you'll have plenty of time to plan out a business idea in that
Thank you,
meantime.
man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. I really appreciate your time and you being a part of the show. I look forward to following the rest of your basketball journey and also just your journey of life, man. I'm sure you're going to be extremely successful.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Truly.